and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Today is the last day of June. But 4 days ago, on June 26, 2023, the Justice Democrats tweeted out this little tweet. Because now we are marking 5 years. 5 years of, well, mediocre BS. Thank you, Kyle and Cenk, for giving us this person who has done nothing. 5 years ago today, we helped AOC make history when she defeated one of the most powerful corporate-backed Democrats in Congress. Her victory has inspired so many working-class candidates of color to take on the billionaire class ever since. Really? Here, let's talk about AOC. AOC and her 5 years. Shout out to Nico House, who has done phenomenal work. If you're not following his content, please check out his work on social media. He has done some great work, especially being a voice for the voiceless. Here, let's talk about 5 years of AOC.
This week, June 27th, marks the 5-year anniversary of when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez beat Joe Crowley for what was supposed to be one of the greatest moments in progressive history. But after just a couple of years of disappointment after disappointment, people realized we had to pump the brakes on celebrating Miss Sandy. Whether you want to talk about the time that AOC refused to withhold her vote to vote for Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House in order to fight for Medicare for all, her refusal to work with Tulsi Gabbard on the All Fossil Fuels Act, despite the fact that AOC claims to be a champion of climate and the environmental crisis, the fact that AOC even admitted that there is likely legitimacy to Tara Reade's claims that Joe Biden sexually assaulted her, and yet AOC told us to go vote for Biden anyway, that she would do the same. The fact that AOC and the squad have sent money to neo-Nazis in Ukraine, not once, not twice, but every single opportunity that they have had while serving under Joe Biden. Progressives finally had to come to terms with the fact that what we thought was supposed to be one of the greatest moments in leftist history ended up being the greatest disappointment in leftist history. Well, the second greatest, next to Bernie Sanders taking hundreds of millions of dollars from poor people and then endorsing Joe Biden.
Yep. That's the truth right there. And again, AOC, nothing has fundamentally changed. 5 years of AOC, and what do we got? We have someone who's become a careerist now. Someone who's decided to invest everything into staying in Washington, D.C., not raising the ruckus, not forcing the vote, not fighting for Medicare for all, not holding the Biden-Harris administration accountable for their failures. This is the same AOC, mind you, by the way, again, I'll get to my criticisms of good old Bernie, the nutless wonder, the cuck Sanders. AOC always showed up at the last minute, never showing up when it counts, always hiding behind identity politics or being a activist. And when she was asked to fight for us, especially for, again, forced to vote, she didn't show up. She said it was violence. She didn't like being talked to in that manner. This is why, again, the whole idea of reforming the Democratic Party, it's a fool's errand. 5 years of AOC. So let's have democracy in the chat. I know, controversial statement. What the hell is democracy? What are you talking about, kid? What is it all about? Well, type 1 if you are so proud and happy that AOC is actually doing the right thing and fighting for us. Type 2, like, no, she's the biggest disappointment ever. I mean, this is the same AOC who, as soon as Nancy Pelosi got in her face, broke down and cried and cried and cried and cried and turned her no vote into a present. So let's actually go ahead and rewind back in time and bring up an incident that took place. You know, when AOC's words should come back to haunt her because she's not fighting for us. She's not fighting for us. So let's remember forced to vote.
Floor vote on Medicare for all.
That's garbage. You can do it right now. We need 15 Democrats.
Hi, Jimmy.
We need the elected officials that you helped get elected to tell Nancy Pelosi that you will not vote for her as speaker unless Medicare for all is put on the House floor for a vote.
I think it's a really smart idea.
You know, the worst abuse of power, Crystal, is not using the power you have to fight for people.
Will they? Time to let AOC know they have no other option because we're watching and we see through their bullshit excuses.
We have to put public pressure on them.
I want to see who's going to vote against healthcare in the middle of a pandemic. If you're not going to do it now, you are never going to do it, you phony.
All the people who filled up your voicemail, they're going to remember whether you did the right thing here.
Which side are they really on? This is where you force progressive House members to reveal who they answer to. Do they answer to their constituents or do they answer to the party bosses? Listen to AOC's own words.
The Democratic Party does not do more unless it is pushed.
And so this moment is the great unmasking.
Force it to happen.
Ask them, are you fighters or are you careerists? Are you activists for the people or are you posers on Twitter?
Everyone's going to try to tell you that if you're just a little bit nicer, then it'll be fine. No.
The whole point of protesting is to make people uncomfortable. You got to make them uncomfortable. She's pretending to be part of a movement when she's really running cover for Nancy Pelosi. Did you think anybody voted for you so you could vote Nancy Pelosi without getting them anything? This is Medicare for all. People's actual lives depend on us doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's your chance to actually use your leverage. Will you?
Take risks.
Or will you be a party fucking climber?
Start bringing the ruckus on the Democratic Party. Force it to happen. Do not trust any political party to automatically work in your interest.
I call on everybody in independent media to join this mission.
Force it to happen.
Force the Congress to show which side are they really on.
And AOC and the squad stood up and did nothing. But we did see the Freedom Caucus use force to vote. We did see the Freedom Caucus use their power and ability to make things happen. And again, look, not pouring salt on the wound, but I want to play this video again one more time. Shout out again to Nico House. 5 years of AOC. Has anything fundamentally changed? I'll let you decide.
This week, June 27th, marks the 5-year anniversary of when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez beat Joe Crowley for what was supposed to be one of the greatest moments in progressive history. But after just a couple of years of disappointment after disappointment, people realized we had to pump the brakes on celebrating Miss Sandy. Whether you want to talk about the time that AOC refused to withhold her vote to vote for Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House in order to fight for Medicare for all, her refusal to work with Tulsi Gabbard on the All Fossil Fuels Act, despite the fact that AOC claims to be a champion of climate and the environmental crisis, the fact that AOC even admitted that there is likely legitimacy to Tara Reid's claims that Joe Biden sexually assaulted her, and yet AOC told us to go vote for Biden anyway, that she would do the same. The fact that AOC and the squad have sent money to neo-Nazis in Ukraine, not once, not twice, but every single opportunity that they have had while serving under Joe Biden. Progressives finally had to come to terms with the fact that what we thought was supposed to be one of the greatest moments in leftist history ended up being the greatest disappointment in leftist history. Well, the second greatest, next to Bernie Sanders taking hundreds of millions of dollars from poor people and then endorsing Joe Biden.
I want to also correct Nico House. You also forgot also endorsing Hillary Clinton too in 2016. I mean, again, just nitpicking here, but I think we all get the point here. This is why you can't reform the Democratic Party. I mean, already, hey, AOC, Roe v. Wade died. I mean, you were able to put on a great theatrical show of getting fake arrested, but where are all the protesters? Student debt forgiveness. Now, look, to be fair, I knew that was going to happen. I wanted people to get $20,000 in student debt forgiveness. That would be great. That would have been awesome. But I knew that was never going to happen. Hey, AOC, you going to say anything about that? Well, let's talk about affirmative action too. That disappearing too. But I know what the easy choice, what Vote Blue, no matter who will say. Actually, it's a conservative Supreme Court. It's because of Trump these things are happening. Oh no. we're not going to play that stupid game, vote blue no matter who. First, let's talk about, hey, AOC, we're going to talk about one of your favorite icons, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that old bat who refused to retire. You know, Obama could have done something to get the old bat out of there, but because we have such an antiquated system, you know, Supreme Court justices are in there for life. And so the only way they retire is if it's their own choice or they die. But you know what? The squad and Democrats and vote blue no matter who, people like AOC, because she's been in the game now for 5 years, she's going to be parroting the same point that other establishment hack for Democrats will say, and that is expand the courts. Not fix it or, you know, maybe have it be held accountable to the American people, but whatever. It is what it is. Whatever. Maybe have Americans vote for who our justices will be instead of politicians. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Just a little bit of a controversial statement here, you know. Hey, AOC, we're sending so much money to this conflict in Ukraine. You going to do anything about that? Oh, probably not. No. Crumbling infrastructure. The kids are still in cages. Are you ever going to go back south of the border and do that protest again? Remember that sad face that you did? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. She's not going to do that either. You can't reform the Democratic Party. You can't change it. And never forget how we got the Justice Democrats. You can thank big brain people like Kyle Kulinski and Cenk Uygur for creating that so fantastic institution that gave us many members of the squad and the recent members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, who ensured that nothing would change. And all it cost us was voters' dignity and respect. Break away from the two-party system. You think AOC is going to care about you? No. And if you criticize her, all she's going to do is say is, you can't date me. No one wants to date you, AOC. We're just hoping that you could do some work, but that's probably not going to happen because you told us to raise the ruckus, but then you got upset and said that we were being rude. Being rude. What a world we live in. I wish... I really do wish that maybe we see some accountability. We see some form of actions being done towards lawmakers that abandon us. They chose to ignore us. They have chosen to play this stupid game. And just so you know what kind of person AOC truly is, especially when she is challenged and called out. Here's what it looks like when AOC is held accountable.
None of this matters unless there's a nuclear... Congresswoman, none of this matters unless there's a nuclear war, which you voted to send arms and weapons to Ukraine. Tulsi Gabbard, she's left the Democratic Party because there are funding war hawks. Okay? You originally voted, you ran as an outsider. Yet you've been voting to start this war in Ukraine. You're voting to start a thermonuclear war with Russia and China. Why are you playing with the lives of American citizens? You're playing with our lives.
There will be no neighbors if there's a nuclear bomb. You voted to mobilize and send money to Ukrainian Nazis. You're a coward. You're a progressive socialist. Where are you against the war mobilization? He's telling the right truth. You have done nothing. Tulsi Gabbard has shown guts where you've shown cowardice. I believed in you, and you became the very thing you sought to fight against. That's what you've become.
And hey, again, AOC did say, raise the ruckus.
You are the establishment, and you are the reason why everybody will end up in a nuclear war unless you choose to stand up right now and denounce the Democratic Party. Will you do that? Yes or no? Okay, simple. Are you going to stop nuclear war? Yes or no? There is no line because this is bullshit. None of this matters if we're all dead. None of it. You know that. Then let's take it up right now because this is the only thing that matters. This is the only thing that matters right now. We could be in a nuclear war at any minute and you continue to fund it. That's what's going on. Why not right now?
Because you are being rude. Thought we were supposed to raise the ruckus, AOC.
Now.
Hold on. One more time.
Right now.
You are being rude.
You're the liar here. Nobody has held you accountable. That's what's happening. And it is time for you to stand up and realize that what you've been saying has been lies. Let your conscience come through for once.
Well done. Well done to Jose Vega. And that was a video that came out in October of 2022. 5 years of AOC. Just like any other politician. No different. Nothing special. And I hope this does wake people up. No matter how you vote, Democrat or Republican, you do realize that most of these people in Washington, D.C., they're thinking 2 years down the road, 4 years down the road, 8 years down the road for their political career. You really think that you are their number one concern? The answer is a most definite no. And yes, I am being rude.